Hey Woody, so this is the video for learning Londonderry Air. For Londonderry Air, we're going to be working in B flat major again, so I highly recommend reviewing everything I did in the last video. But this one should be a little bit easier for you to do. There's not a whole lot of shifting. With that being said, grab your instrument and we're going to tune. Here's your A. D, G, E, all right. We're gonna pluck for the first little bit. So you notice that in the first measure, right after the first open A, we've got half position, and we're gonna stay in half position the whole time, which is great. I was just working on this on the violin and viola, and they've got all sorts of shifting going on. Same with the cello, but for once, it's easy for the bass, which is awesome. So the first thing to note is just where half position is. I'm sure you know where that is. You've been doing great, but I just wanted to make this video to make sure that you had something to play along with, to make sure that you're in tune and you know what it's supposed to sound like. So without further ado, let's get going. So we've got here that A and then B flat in half position. There's that D. Luckily that's fourth finger. Okay, that part right there. There's that next door neighbor technique that I was talking about last time, where you're going to go from fourth finger on this string to fourth finger on this string, okay? Make sure that's nice and seamless, and you're thinking about where your elbow is moving, either up and over or back, okay? But your ears will be your guide. Here's what it sounds like again. And then moving on. There it is. All right, right here, we're gonna go 4, 2, 4 to get that G, F sharp relationship. And you may notice right here it's got an F natural again. That's just to remind you that the F sharp we had in the last measure doesn't apply in this measure. Pretty soon you won't even see those reminder accidentals in your music, because you should just know that rule. Okay, so last two measures. Whoops, I better get in half position, don't I? Okay, so I bet you can figure all that out a lot faster than I did. It is pretty simple. Just remember where you're lying in half position. I kind of think of it, first position, where you learn, you've got D, E, F sharp. Well, if I just move a half step back, then E becomes E flat, and F sharp becomes F natural. Everything else lies around that as well. Okay, let's talk about bowing. Now, one thing I want you to draw your attention to is that in measure 1, we have this little figure, A, B, C, D is all separated. Oops, I better get in half position, shouldn't I? Okay, now take a look at measure 5. You have the same thing, but it's all slurred. Okay, make sure you practice those back to back so that your brain can tell the difference when you're playing those. Let's go back to measure 1. And yes, we're starting with an up bow, very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Slur. notice how I squeaked there when I went to the G string. That's because I didn't change my angle this way enough to get a full-on contact perpendicular to the G string. I'm going to raise this up a little bit. You can probably see, I'll put it up here, right here. I did more like this rather than this, okay? You always want to be a T shape with whatever string you're on to get the best tone. Okay, let's start at the beginning and let's run through all the slurs that are in this piece. 1, 2, 3. So notice the spots that have the slurs, especially this G, G sharp part right here. And notice how right after that, we have those 3 eighth notes, starting with an up bow. It's just like the beginning. That's not by accident, okay? The bowings in this piece make a difference because each bowing direction has its own tone. Again, make sure that that G on the top gets its correct angle. And it's always good to do kind of a little crescendo there on the last 3 notes, especially since that ba 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 has had such a big impact with those bowing directions before. But this one goes down, up, down, right? Because it's always good to end the last note with a strong down bow. I hope you found that helpful. Have fun practicing that. Follow the directions that I have on the announcements page to get to Smart Music so that you can take a look and practice and record yourself with the program that they have for this. All right, good luck. Bye-bye.